So that's the first trial. The second trial, the AMAROS trial, also presented very nicely by the previous speaker. And a couple of things to just add is that the great majority of the patients had one or two positive sentinel nodes. And we have to be careful with that. Sometimes we have a patient with 3 positive sentinel nodes. What do you do? What if you have 3 with micrometastasis in them? What do you do? Do you send them back for completion of lymph node dissection, or you just give your radiation? A very large number of patients, 744 in each arm, and there was no difference in overall survival, and that's how it is shown in this data. They have a very long follow-up period, so the data is very solid. And the big benefit from this trial is the decrease in rate of lymphedema, and I will talk about this in a little bit more details. And the other thing is that the AMAROS study covered the radiation with the supraclav and axilla. That's in contrast to the Z11 study, which had just a higher tensions. So in general, if we have positive sentinel node, what we do in my department, if we have an extensive or extracapsular extension or 3 or more sentinel node positive, we do completion of lymph node dissection, we stick to the standard. If we have sort of like high risk factors, positive LVI, maybe triple negative, we still, including 1 or 2 positive sentinel node, we do the supraclav and the axilla, we treat it with radiation with an independent field. And if we have 1 or 2 micrometastases, we do high tensions based on the Z11. So what do we get from that? Now, what we've noticed that surgery is going down, like from lymph node dissection for node negative, we don't do it anymore. We do mostly sentinel node. Now we are moving into sentinel node, in fact, despite the fact that those sentinel nodes are positive. But we substitute this with radiation. So radiation is increasing in the fields we treat, and surgery is decreasing. So what do we get from these 2 different types of complications? We have to be prepared because we might see more of this coming. Lymphedema and cardiac toxicity. So talking about lymphedema, and lymphedema is a devastating situation for the patient who could be cured, surviving 10 or 15 years, and despite that, we'll have a constant reminder about her cancer, very difficult situation, quality of life-wise, cannot find clothes to fit, and if we pay a little bit more attention to that, we might probably prevent it. In particular, in a country like here, and also a lot of other countries, and originally from Egypt, we have the same situation that the great majority of patients will have a lymph node dissection. And sadly, despite the fact that they might have negative lymph nodes, lymph node dissection will cause a lot of lymphedema, and I will show you data about that. If we can detect lymphedema very early, not at this stage, not at that stage, even 19% means increase in volume by 19% compared to the other arm. It's still too much. It's just incurable. You could have a sleeve which you could put the rest of your life, but it will not go away. We need to catch lymphedema very early on. And what we do today is we wait until it happens and then we intervene. But what I would like to see tomorrow is that can we screen for it? We screened for breast cancer and we started to see much earlier stage. And here the cure rate will be high. Why don't we screen for lymphedema? Like we can start to measure the arm very early on, and once it reaches a certain threshold, let's say 10%, put the sleeve right away. Maybe you will not see this very devastating picture that we just saw. So there are many ways of measuring lymphedema. Some of them are practical and others are not. Water displacement, unhygienic and messy. You could see here, patients put her arm down here, and then you see the volume compared with the other arm. There is a study, there is a way to measure it. We call it bioimpedance, which reflects the ability of an electrical current to pass through the limb, mostly in Australia, very expensive. What we use at Mass General is actually something called the porometer, It's like an infrared technology, which the patient puts her arm like this, and this frame goes back and forth, and you have the volume. This also a little bit more expensive, but the most simple thing is just tape measurements, which doesn't cost too much. It probably takes 10 extra minutes from your time. And there are some recommendations on how to do these measurements. Not the best of the best, not very, very accurate, but it will give you a very good information. Actually, there is some data showing that if you do it really very thoroughly, you could have almost a comparable information like the perometer. So the recommendation from the National Lymphedema Network is that you need to measure it in 6 different points: in the hand, in the wrist, and then at the elbow, 10 centimeter below, 10 centimeter above, and very close to the axilla. And if you do that, you take the data from these circumferences and you plug them into a software. Actually, it's online. It will show you the volume. So you take this circumference here, it will tell you this arm is, let's say, 1,000 cc. You do the same thing to the other arm. If you have a difference of 100 cc or 10% increase, here you have a lymphedema just starting, treated right away, and prevent this disaster.